Welcome back to Annijuuti Knits podcast. This is episode 17. And this is my last episode for year 2021. So I thought that this time I would show you all of the WIPs that I have lying around. And I also have few finished objects that I want to show you. Some of them are already being gifted, so I will just add some pictures, and then some of them I do have here with me. Welcome! If you are here for the first time, my name is Anniina. I'm a knitter based in Finland, the west coast of Finland, place called Kokkola. Like anyone would know where that might be. I'm a mother of two little boys, 2 and 4. And a stepmother for nearly a 9-year-old daughter. Yeah, let's get started. I'm in a little bit of a time crunch today. My mother-in-law took the kids out. They are on their Christmas holiday, and so they will be away for an hour, I think. So I should get started. I don't even know where to begin. Maybe we start with the finished objects that most of them you already have seen, maybe even all of them at some point. But yeah, so first of all, I finished mittens for my mom for Christmas, and I showed you them last episode, my last podcast episode, those blue and red and white stranded colored mittens called Joulutunnelma mittens. I will insert a picture here or here, maybe here. And that's the Christmas pattern that I released on the 6th of December together with the socks, and I talked about them in my previous episode, so I'm not going into too many details about that. And then a second object that I don't have with me is my Bellish cardigan for my niece, and you have seen it multiple times. Here's some pictures. And it became so cute. I can't believe it was a bit big on her, but I aimed for a little bit like a one size larger, so that she can have a longer time wearing it. So she can fold the cuffs first, and then maybe she can wear it another year or so. So that was that. And my third finished object is my woolly pants for my son. I'm so sorry about the lighting. It's impossible to have natural lighting, so unfortunately I have this yellowish light going on. So I have talked about this couple of times. Woolly pants made with 2 strands of different merino yarns, superwash merino yarns. The other one was fingering weight, the other one was sport weight. I made this with 4.5 millimeter needles, and I based the pattern for these pants using my son's sweatpants as a as a guideline. So they turned out great. The only thing that the ribbing wasn't quite tight enough, so I added 2 strands of elastic. Just alongside with the ribbing. It shows a little bit on the right side too, but not massively, and it helps to keep the pants up. I will put some pictures here. He was wearing them yesterday when we went to play in the snow. So he was nice and cozy wearing these pants. So I think it was a very successful trial, and yeah, they will be a very what's the word, practical wear for him. So not the prettiest, but definitely worth the effort. And then I will come back in a second. I'm back. So if you haven't seen my stash video, which I uploaded a week and a half ago, I showed you this finished object in that video, which is this gnome. But I wanted to show it again if someone doesn't really, or someone is not interested in my stash, so and only watches my podcast episodes. So I wanted to show this again. This is a gnome by Imagined Landscapes. The gnome is called All Work Gnome Play, and I did some adjustments or modifications. It also should be attached to the front, the hands, but I preferred it to be like loosey-goosey. There was an I-cord swirl on the hat, which I didn't do. I just made like an I-cord loop on the top, and there was the braids were cabled knitting, and these are made with pencil rowing, these braids. So I used up some of my leftovers for my slips of organza. No, shawlography. Shawlography shawl, and it made a nice gnome. So this is my third or fourth finished object. And then in my last podcast episode, in episode 16, I talked about my husband's felted slippers, and I managed to finish them, and here they are. This was such a tryout as well, or trial. I didn't have a certain pattern. I was looking for a pattern, but I couldn't find anything that I had envisioned. So I had made these type of slippers or slipper socks previously without the felting. So I knew the construction. I have shown you this before. The only thing was that the size was kind of a guessing game, and I think they are quite fine. They are a bit wide on him, but I don't think that matters too much. So I ended up finishing them a couple days before Christmas, and they turn out fine, which is the most important. And even he said that they are so warm that he wears them a little bit and then he takes them off because his toes are so toasty, and that's great because his feet are always cold. So I think it was a perfect gift for him. My final finished object is something that you haven't seen before. Usually I am knitting Christmas gifts just like a day before Christmas, because my time management is usually not the best. And I did finish a bit earlier this time. The slippers were the last thing that I finished, and I couldn't work on them because my husband was at home. We had a stomach flu just a week before Christmas. The whole family was ill, and we were all home, so it made it a little bit difficult to to knit on something for him that he doesn't know. So all in all the gifts that I made were they were ready, I think, on the 20th, and that's very unusual for me because I'm usually the one who is knitting away until the night the previous day. So I'm really happy that I managed to pull it off a bit earlier this year. But because I was ready before Christmas, I signed up into a testnet. I saw this chunky mitten pattern. It's a Finnish online yarn store called Kässäpuoti, and the owner is called Anna Heino. She is designing her own patterns as well. I have tested another mitten pattern for her, and I have made her socks as well. So here they are. These are called the Viena mittens. Sorry, the shadow. It's a very chunky yarn worked on a 6mm needles, and it has this very basic lace pattern. I'm matching also with my cardigan, which is store-bought, not made by me. Yeah, so 6mm needles. I didn't have the required yarn, and because we were at home, unfortunately, with the sickness, so I couldn't go and get some new yarn, which is probably a good thing, maybe. So I ended up using Topsy worsted, which is Canadian Topsy Farms yarn, the worsted weight Canadian yarn, and then I had this single ply wool from Bricks and Little. Was it Bricks and Little? I think it was Bricks and Little, which matched with this darker green. So I ended up using 2 strands held together, and I got gauge, and this was a very quick and easy project, and I'm planning on making more of these because I think these are great gift knits which I can make and then gift away. And I'm also thinking I might make one pair for myself with a little tighter gauge. They are a bit big on me because my hand is like a 8-year-old's hand, so my hands are really very small. So these are adult size and they don't really fit me, but I'm thinking a bit smaller needles, bit more smaller gauge. I would get some for myself. Whew. I'm hoping I'm not rushing through things. I feel a little bit pressure because we are on a bit of a time crunch, but I will try to be calm enough so that it's pleasant to listen to. All right. Did you make any gift knits, or did you omit that, or did you not this year? I would like to know. And what kind of gift knits did you do? Mine was mainly socks and mittens and hats for this year around. Okay, like the title promises and like I said in the beginning, I will now bring out all my WIPs. If you have seen my very first episode back in April, I then brought out everything that I had underway, and there is some same projects still that I have not finished, and I will start from the oldest ones and then move forward. But one thing that I did yesterday was that I counted all my WIPs, and I was shocked that I only had 12. 12 is the number for today, and I think for me that's also maybe the lowest number in God knows how long. I have been trying to concentrate on either frogging all things that I'm not going to finish, or then making some progress and finishing up something that have been lying around for longer time. I will start from the oldest one, and if you have seen all my episodes, my hair is annoying me. So this is the oldest one, and it dates back, I don't know, 1.5 to 2 years even. This is my first ever published pattern, Tuulen värit, and it's stranded colorwork sock made with sport weight yarn. It's made with Knits. I have started the second one, but then something happened and I haven't touched it since. Sorry, the ball is a little bit wonky. I have bought this from our corner store, our grocery store, and it was 30% off, so fantastic. Discounted yarn. Yeah, so Knits, nothing much to say about this. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, unfortunately only in Finnish. I have talked about these quite a few times because I had the yellow pair that I have shown you a couple of episodes ago when I finished it. And yeah, it's, I don't know, I lost motivation and it's been hidden in a box on our bookshelf, and I haven't touched it since. The next very old UFO is another sock pattern of mine. This is called Light as a Feather, and this was my love child. This was a pattern that I worked on for a long time. It's fingering weight sock, knee high, and it was a lot of work. And I made this first one, and this is the first trial pair or sock, and I made some adjustment to the pattern, and then I made the second one. So I will put a picture here from the brown ones, and those were the sample pair with all the tweaks, and this was left behind because it needed some little modifications, and yeah, so it's waiting for its pair. But now I will promise you, the year of 2022 is the year when I finish both of these pairs. I promise. You get my word. It's time. I think it's time. I'm not gonna frog these, too much work. And I have the yarn sitting in the bag. I have even split the ball so that I can get a similar color change. So there's literally no explanation. That just get on with it and work the pair up, and then someone will get socks, because I don't wear knee-high socks. Too warm. Okay, the next one is also an oldie, and I just don't know what to do with it. It is my Slip Stravaganza shawl by Stephen West, and you can't really say it's a shawl yet because it's clue 1. When I started this, I had a bit of a rough patch with my youngest son. He wasn't sleeping at all and it was difficult and I was tired and it was difficult. Let's put it that way. But when I saw the first clue came out, the honeycombs, and I saw people making them, I just wanted to be part and yeah, to start and work with everyone. And then I realized that I'm not able to do it. I'm not able to keep up, and I managed to make this first section that I really liked, and then I lost steam. And I don't know. It's been sitting in a project bag for a year, and I have made 2 Stephen West shawls after that. I've done the painting bricks and then I have done the shawlography, and I just don't know if I have the effort and the energy to finish this. This is just the little nugget in the beginning, and it's a massive, massive shawl. I just don't know. What do you think I should do? Should I just frog it, forget about it, use the yarn for something else, or what do you suggest me to do? I'm lost with this one. I really like the end result, but it's a lot of work, especially after the shawlography, which was massive as well. Work-wise, it took a long time, and I don't know if I have that commitment with this one. Tell me, give me advice, give me your advice. I need some advice. Yes, so those were the oldest WIPs that I have. And then I think the next oldest, where might it be? It's here in the box. It's my own design. It's a cardigan made in pieces, and it's sort of, well, it's not similar to this one because it doesn't have like, it's a very basic boxy cardigan, and it's made with fingering weight single ply wool. It has this lace on the bottom. The wool is the wool is so lovely. It's Finship wool, one single strand or single ply, and it's dreamy and soft and very beautiful. And I have just I bumped into a crating problem, so it slowed me down a little bit. But yeah, here are the beginning of the front panels. I have both of them here on the same cable so that I can work them simultaneously. And yeah, I think this beginning of this year, or the beginning of 2022, I will try to get the headspace to finish the pattern and then knit up the sample and then maybe get it testing. And yeah, so that's my cardigan called Alku, which means the beginning. And yeah, that was the first garment that I ever started designing, first adult garment, and it's still there. It's been there for a couple of months untouched. I started it in the beginning of last summer. I can't remember when. Maybe it was May, perhaps. But yeah, it will it will have its turn. This is not very handy now, that box was too far away. Okay, the next one. This was also a little bit of a problematic project. My Pohjolan emäntä. This is made with the same yarn, one ply, or how do you say that, single, fin shape wool single, and it's very thin, and the color work was quite intricate. I don't know how much you can see, the lighting is bad, but that wasn't the problem. I managed to finish up the color work, and then I had done like 10 centimeters of the body, and I was making it with a small circular, 80 centimeters maybe, and so I didn't notice that it was flaring out a lot. I did change into a smaller needle after the color work, but that was not enough. And when I realized it, I took it on a cord, this TPK, the knitting barber cords. I realized that it's very structured on the colorwork section, and then it flares out. So this is what I did. I had to unravel the whole stockinette section, and I was thinking maybe to go down with my needle size, but that would have meant that I would have had to make the whole entire sweater using 2.5 millimeter needles, and I was like, that would take me forever. The suggested needle was 3.5. So what I did was I started making the size large, because it was bottom-up construction. I didn't want to risk it being too small. Did I gauge watch? Of course not. So what I did, I decreased one pattern repeat words stitches, which was 32 stitches in the whole round. So I unraveled it until the color work ends, and then the next round I decreased 32 stitches and continued. I made this color work using 3.75 needle, and then I'm using 3.5 to make the stockinette, but I did decrease 32 stitches, and now it's looking fine. Now it doesn't flare out, and what I managed to do, I even got into the splitting for the front and back. So I have made now like 4 centimeters of the back piece, back panel. This is a very boxy fit, so the back is just straight piece. That's why I started from there, and then I will do the front. The pattern has a V-shaped neck, but I'm thinking I will modify it more into more of a round neck. But this is now that it was on hold for a couple of months, and then I got the time to fix it, or I had the motivation to fix it because I really want to wear it. Now would be the perfect time for me to wear it. So I will now try to work on that one as well. But it was on hold it was on timeout for quite a few months. And then now I don't have a chronological order anymore because I don't know when I started what. These you have seen, my woolly pants, scrap yarn, woolly pants. Yeah, I haven't touched these in a while, but now would be the perfect time to make them. So I'm thinking I don't know. I don't know what I'm thinking. I have surgery in 2 weeks and um, I have so many plans. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe for this winter, maybe for next. Who knows? I'm happy that I managed to finish my son's pants because, yeah, they were more urgent for him to have something warm to play in the snow. So those pants were a heavy modification from the free pattern from Drops Designs called Rhoda. I did I did a lot of modifications, so I don't know if you can say that they are those pants or not, but anyway, that's that. Sorry if I'm rushing, time is ticking. I'm thinking they are coming back in 15 minutes or so, so I'm sorry if it sounds that I'm in a rush. The next unfinished object, my WIP, is these Taitos socks. I don't know how much you can see actually. This was the first trial pair, and the yarn choice was wrong because you can't really tell. You can't see the pattern, but I have done nearly the whole leg portion for the second sock, so I should continue and finish these Taitos socks. But that's what happens when you're designing things. I always have the first one that doesn't quite. I have an idea. I really always want to see it in action. And then I make some tweaks, and then I make an improved version of that. So yeah, that's my way of doing things. The next one is something that I started in the summer. It's a sweater using Wool Me One's fibers, merino pearl. So it's this bumpy and lumpy yarn. It's all scrunched up because it was in a bag. The thing is, it slows me down because I'm alternating skeins for the body. So I don't know. It was my summer knits, and then it turned into fall, and summer was over, and then I forgot about it. So I really do like the yarn. I like the open gauge. It's a very simple raglan, no pattern, just winging it, and I'm aiming this to be ready for the next summer. So maybe I really shouldn't start new sweater projects before finishing all those. How many sweaters I have shown you already? 3. So maybe I should do something about that. And here's the 4th one, also my own design. I lost steam with this one too. I think they're coming back, perhaps. This is my fall knit Swancho design. No name. The main color is Drops Charisma, and then some other similar yarns. So I have a sweater quantity of this green one, and it has a lot of short row shapings in the back. And yeah, it should become a swancho, so like a very long sweater or long yoke poncho, swancho, sweater combined, that sort of thing. Those were all my old WIPs, and then I have just few more, and those are something that you have not seen before. I started making a hat for my husband, and this yarn I have shown you before. it's the drops baby alpaca, no drops, it's Sandnes Garn alpaca. And I've been delaying this project for quite a while. I've been procrastinating. I have promised to make him a hat that he really likes and he wants. And he wanted red and electric blue. And who would combine red and electric blue? I wouldn't. So because the color choices are not my favorite, I have been delaying this project for as long as I could. But now I have started the ribbing. I generated a pattern using the Bellish app, not sponsored, because it's easy. You can do whatever you like. So I gave him the app, and he chose like this star stitch pattern. So I will make the brim using the red, and then I have red and blue in like this star stitch thing form, and then go from there. And that I have been working on whenever I have the chance. And then my Christmas cast on. I started the Winter's Crest socks by the Heather and Hops cat or Catherine, and here they are. They are very bright. Again, I don't know how much you can see. Here's the start of the pattern. So I started this on Christmas Eve, and it's a toe-up construction. I did some modifications for the heel because I don't like the short row heel. It doesn't fit my foot. It's too shallow. It doesn't fit. So I ended up using some instructions for heel flap and gusset from the toe up, but I didn't realize how long it takes to knit until then. So until it's a very much improvised heel because I realized that if I'm continuing the gusset increases all the way, I would end up with a size 40 sock, and my foot is 37. So what I ended up doing was I stopped before I did the turns that I could, and then the flap was too shallow. I made some short rows at the back so that I can raise it a bit higher, and now it fits. Maybe I can slide it onto my foot. This will be awkward, sorry. But it fits. I think it fits well, and that's the most important thing. Now I started the tree pattern yesterday, but it requires a lot of looking at the pattern, so it's a slow going process. I'm gonna show you once more my stitch marker, if I can turn it. Now the antler is caught. This cute little reindeer was sent to me from Canada, so thank you so much, Holly. Yeah, it was a nice Christmas surprise with a Christmas card and some tree ornaments. Yeah, so that was my second to last WIP that I wanted to show you. A final WIP, and then we are done. My grandmother is having her birthday in January 25th, same day as mine. We have exactly 50 years apart, and she is now suffering from a memory. I think, yeah, well, anyway, she's now slowly fading away, and I really wanted to make her I really wanted to make her a shawl, like to wear on the shoulders, and I had just borrowed this book from the library. It's Line Publishing's 52 Weeks of Shawls, only in Finnish. And I started scrolling through it, and I found this DK weight shawl by Tuulen, which is this one. And I started making that shawl. Only thing was that I had this gray cone of yarn, and I wanted to add some color because she likes colors more than just plain gray. So I dug out my stash and I got this. I have this Novita 7 veljestä, Novita 7 brothers yarn. I had these two colors. I don't know how much you can see. There you go. So I'm planning on making each stitch section with different, or I think it will be mainly gray, but I am spicing it up with these two colors. So I started, and I'm hoping to finish this before my surgery, so that I would possibly I could give this to her for her birthday, which is in January. And that was my last WIP, you guys. You managed till the end, and I only had 12. I'm very proud of myself. Maybe in the upcoming months I can get my WIP count down to less than 10, maybe, perhaps. But yeah, today is now the 29th of December. By the way, I am publishing my pattern for the Heart of a Wanderer in 2 days. So it will be 15% off for the first couple of days. So the first days of the new year. So go and grab yourself a copy of that if you like. I'm starting my Steekalong on the 1st of January. I will pop all the details down in the description box, as I will link everything that I can, what I have been talking about. So steeked cardigan in 3 months. You can participate even if you don't finish the project. Just post on Instagram using the hashtag Steekalong 2022, and if you finish, you have another hashtag, which is Steekalong 2022FO, and that way you can participate. I will draw prizes on the 1st of April, so we have a lot of time to make ourselves a steeked cardigan. And I will start my mini cardigan soon, and that will be my New Year's cast on. And yeah, I think I have managed to pull everything off. I managed to round up everything that I have been working on. And the last thing is that I will put the pictures, what I have done this year, scrolling here through the end, and you can see what have I done. I have done 59 objects so far. Maybe those socks will get finished this year, so it would make it 60. And I will put a little video here how I'm keeping track of my knitting and my knitted grams. I talked about this in my previous video, which was my stash video. So here is how I'm keeping track of what I'm doing. And I have been doing this for 2 years now, and I think it's very, very nice to see how much progress you make in a year. And that's my way. But yeah, here's all the things that I have done. Thank you for watching. The end will be long, I'm sorry, but thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being so friendly. I have found lovely new friends, knitting friends, and it makes me so happy that I have started my podcast because it has brought me so much joy over the past few months. And yeah, the community is just amazing, and thank you so much for subscribing. It means a world to me that you are there. Thank you. Happy New Year and happy knitting, and I will see you in a few weeks. Bye.